Hello everyone, we are back. So I've uploaded a video for last Friday. It was a pre-recorded one that I'd already done. Just had to finish editing it. Now I owe you an explanation why we haven't been uploading as frequently as we usually do. I've touched base on that at the end of the video. You'll find out everything that's gone on. It was a massive shift in change in our business. A little issue that we had to overcome, but now we've overcome it. Things are going to be all back to normal and everything will be great. So this video is just like a bit of a mashup what happened in between then, like a bit of mobile processing for Chris, a bit of mobile processing for Harry, some fun little bits there. I think the last was quite funny really, but no, there's an explanation at the end, and just be rest assured moving forward we have plenty scheduled in to be uploaded. Let's get on with the video. Morning everyone, so it's Saturday morning, so this is like day 6 of mobile processing. Now you gotta bear in mind I have to get up like 4 in the morning ish, maybe a bit earlier, just to, you know, try and get off. So usually I set me off about 10 to 4. So that I can get the trailers and go, depending where we are. So next week we're in Essex, so I'll be setting out, you know, bang on 4, maybe 4:15. But what you got to bear in mind is you're grafting your max out all day, every day, okay? When you graft your max out all day, every day, it does take out you. So today, I must admit, I am sore. My back, my arms, they're absolutely killing. Give it an hour or two, I'll be fine. We'll start lumbering up and get into it again. So I've arrived at Chris's. There's a little stack by the entranceway. We've set the Splitta 400 up. We're literally about to get it warmed up. Once that's warmed up, we'll crack on. I'm going to set up a camera. I've got a bit of logging to do as well. Mainly Splitta, hopefully mainly Splitta 400 work, but I'm easy either way. But I'd like to hear your thoughts, okay? How much of something do you want to see? So I can record for 8 hours logging, you know what I mean? Do you get a bit bored about that? I can record the Splitta 400 for 8 hours or whatever we run it for, okay? Is that something you want to see? What do you want to see more consistency of? Do you want it to keep flashing between different scenes? One thing to bear in mind is that I am there to work. So I'm just taking you out with me, showing you what we do. I can make those scenes short. I can fill in a couple of days. But, you know, how many of one thing can you actually show? See, I'd watch logging all day long. I'd watch splitting all day long if I had the time. But how much of each thing do you want to see? Is it all right as it is? Do you want something a bit different? It'd be good to know your thoughts, because I always think, I've just recorded 7 hours of a time lapse, you know, shrunk down of, you know, the same thing. I moved the cameras, don't get me wrong, but how much can you do? Okay, so let me know. I've got to crack on because they're paying me to work, not to talk, and I'll see you in a bit. Morning done. Well, I say done, we are at 4:12. We've done 13 cages, but we've also, you know, had to set up, move things. Obviously it is our way, so we're sorting it all out. Buried by a bit of sawdust. That's all been done and tidied up. The lads have been logging up. Good old Chris working their way through. So hopefully we'll have a good 30-40 cube day minimum. I don't know. I think we're on track. So we just finished Chris's, and we have, I think we had about 25, 26 kgs done of arb waste. Quite a bit of the first pile that we did had to be cracked in half while Chris was logging up on the other side. Cracked on the other side, and I'm sure we had 26 kgs done by the end of the day. And then moving forward, we head over to Essex. Good morning everyone. So it's Monday morning. We set out about just gone 4. We're in Essex today. Got a lovely arb pile to go through. Deck's back on the job after having a weekend off. We've got the machine running just a little bit slower at the minute while I quickly do this. Then we're cracking on. HRJ Tree Services have logged up quite a bit of the pile. There's a lot of arb waste. We've got quite a bit to log up still. It should keep us going for the day. We've got a conveyor set up, we've got IBC cages, all those over there to fill, back in there. We've also got an van to move the cages, so it looks like it's going to be a good day. And I'd be pleased to inform you that I have brought the GoPro back, so I don't have to use this all the time, and I can get you some more in-between footage, I call it. So I'll set this up, turn this on, and we'll crack on. So this is a good example of what we can do with our waste, really, because obviously it's well logged up. We're going to be logging a lot of it up. A lot of the stuff we logged before is great. It's all about understanding the machine and how to run it. That's all it is. Know your machines, know your timber, know your sawmanship, and you can't go wrong. So I'll catch up with you later on. Just done a quick 5 kgs. I do apologise if the mic isn't the best. I haven't connected my wireless mic up, but I'm sure you'll get the gist. So at the minute we're getting quite a few things have been cut on the angle. So what we're going to do is, because we can't keep moving the best at the minute in the tight area, we've exposed, obviously, there we go, we've exposed some long timber, some sort of cordwood I'd say, all the way back. We are also separating soft to hard as best we can as well. So anything too big down here we'll quickly snip up and try and make it fit on a few discs. And then we'll clear this section here. And once that whole section's done, we'll have a nice route in and out where meal deck is stuck there and someone can be on the machine just working it. I think that's a great plan of action. Some great stuff over here, but again, it's the travel, you're tripping over things. One thing that I would say about operating any machine, or even if you're doing an arb job or anything like that, a good groundsman will tell you if you're on an arb job, keeping the ground clear is key. It's all good bashing things down and logging up fast and trying to process fast, but if you're tripping over, you wouldn't believe how much it can slow you down with things in your way. The clearer the path, the better it is and the neater you are as well. And there's been times, right, and I've seen this, we've done a job, right, let's say when I first started, or even in my yard, right, you've logged up, you've split quite a bit, but the pile doesn't look like it's gone down really because you're so spread out, it's so messy, right? If you're doing, let's say, a construction job, or you're doing a plumbing job or whatever, if you keep everything tidy as you go along, people are seeing the change, the difference, how nice it is, how clear it is, how efficient you're working. If you're working for someone and you're not looking efficient, you're not looking clear, and it doesn't look like the pile's changing because it's just, spreading out from up there like it was down to here, it doesn't look like you've done much. But if you're slowly working your way back in and you're making a good dent in it, one, the cages speak for themselves, but two, it's like, wow, you're getting through quite a bit. The yard's quite tidy. Thank you very much. Obviously, because you never know, we might do 3 to 5 days, and then he might go, oh, we'll wait till we get a load more back in. What's he got to do then? Move it with his Avant, or clear it up himself. There's no point. If you keep clear as you go along, it's the best way forward, especially if you're going to run a business, or even if you're running your own yard. Obviously, we're all guilty. I'm pretty guilty of letting the yard get untidy, if I'm going to be honest. Look at the yard that we're setting up now and getting everything all in place when we start filming in our own yard. You know, we've had fields, we've got hard standing. It became a bit of a dumping ground. Like, we used to store loads of cages, bits and bobs, timber, trailers, you name it. We just stored it there. It was like a storage yard, and we only used maybe a quarter of it to work in. And that wasn't all the time for timber. That could have been fixing things, fixing motors, having deliveries or offloading stuff, because it was hard standing, it was easy to get to. So what I'm saying is, we're all guilty of, you know, chasing the money, chasing the timber, chasing everything. But what you find is, you're just being a busy fool, and you're not actually progressing. You're just going to give yourself, by the time you left it, a week, a month's worth of clearing, organising, sorting, you know, leaving all the nasty bits to the end, and then you're doing a week of nasty stuff. It's not nice for the person who's doing it. It's just not a good experience. If you know, spend 1 day a week or something like that, just get rid of that nasty stuff, or processing it as you go along, you end up doing a lot better rather than having a massive pile of it. Unless you're going to chip it, of course, or get rid of it, that's different. Deck's got his headphones. It's a long day for Deck. He had a weekend off, bless him. So, but yeah, I'm going to crack on with some logging, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, day 2. What a day. So as you can tell, Dad got a bit tired. We didn't get that much done, as I mentioned before, so about, I tell you, I bet, why not count? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 kgs done. Right, we logged up a bit more than 13 kgs. I'm going to say this so everyone understands. This is the real world. This is very difficult, okay? We haven't really got anything other than a little Avant that doesn't hold much in a bucket to offload this timber. This timber is a mix of just everything. Like, you'll find lengths, you'll find big stuff you can't even lift. There's all sorts all around, okay? Now, the stuff that the chap logged up, some of it was good, some of it, a lot of it, you know, if every 5 you picked up, 1 will go on the machine, sort of thing. Same as before, they're just all a bit too big, or some of them are a bit too small. Small ones don't matter, but they will matter if, you know, if I extended this machine up to 13-inch, then it would matter. The thin stuff will never go through. You get twists, it'll slap back, etc. So, this is a very, very fair sized pile. It goes quite far back and it's quite deep. So, I'd estimate there's about 75 tonne-ish there. Spoke to Harry and he agrees, that's the client's name, by the way. So if we say I want to aim to get X amount done in a day, I wouldn't know what that X amount is, because you never know until you start getting into it. So this is something else that slowed us down yesterday. Harry has a very specific product he wants. He wants it separated between softwood and hardwood. So if we were to start logging, as we were yesterday, you can't just log whatever's in front of you and then chuck it on the machine. You have to log whatever's in front of you, chuck one bit to one side, one bit to the other, you know what I mean? Because you don't know what you're pulling out. To uncover the softwood, you have to move hardwood. To uncover the hardwood, you have to move softwood. No matter what you do, you're constantly switching. So I'm going to try and get, let's say, a third to half this pile done today. Go through it all, separate it between hard and soft. That's where you lose time, the separation. No one can help it, it is what it is. But I stepped up. Harry's very busy, he's got Arctics on the way. I said, look, listen, call it a day, right? To be fair, by the time we moved everything around, didn't really finish any earlier. Call it a day, come back tomorrow, start fresh, let's get everything logged up and crack on. That's it. You go and do whatever you gotta do. You're busy, man, I get that. You run a business, this is my business, this is what I know, this is what I've got to do. So let me crack on with this. And yeah, so Dex just literally fueling up the saws over there. And that is going to be the day. It's literally a general mix of everything, which is a good pile. It will make good firewood. Definitely would. Obviously we're getting very, very bulked up with our mobile processing. We have our regular clients that we have every year, but we've also got so many new ones, and we've got people who we've serviced this year who are coming back to us again this year because they've gone, I've brought some Arbors, I've brought some Lorio's, can you come down as soon as possible? Because they realise that it's a cost effective to have us in, or whatever, you know, it's better for them. So I'm going to set the camera up and then I'll crack on. Did you have a good sleep, Deck, yesterday?
No.
No? You have a good sleep this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the way to work. I've never met a man that sleeps so much ever. So when you're having one of them days where it's really hot and everything seems like it's just taking forever, that's today. We've made a really good dent in the stack. Obviously that was out to there. Made a really good dent. The issue is, well, I've been cutting in the stack as well. So sending the saw through the stack as you see all the sawdust. Sometimes it's easier than moving it. But the hardest part is taking all these slithers off. Hi. Look at this. A lot of them were cut on the angle by whoever cut it. And you literally have to take the slithers off for it to fit. Now again, you might be thinking, why don't you just make it wider? Because we're logging up lengths as we go along. Now I can log them lengths up longer, granted, but when things are cut on an angle, the grippers and grabbers in there, it just twists. The timber just twists, and you're blocked in the time you don't spend logging, the time you're going to spend over there unblocking and not continuing to split firewood. So if you're on a two-way splitter, then you're sound. If you're not, and then you're on one of these machines, you've got to have good wood, half decent wood, alright? You can get through hard waste, as I said before, hard waste is fine, but it just depends how it's logged. So there's two ways of doing it. Either you log it first before putting these on, because it's really bright. There we go. You log it before you get someone in, or you do it yourself if you have a Splitta 400, or you get the person to log it, but it's a lot easier than logging what someone's already tried to start logging. If it was just like, I don't know, even if they were like 2 foot pieces or 1.5 foot, something like that, you can go straight down the middle with it, and yeah, you might have 2 6-inch logs or 2 18-inch logs, whatever, and they might not be bang on 10-inch, but it's better than it being on a right diagonal. And obviously, if you look here, we've chucked quite a bit to one side. There's a lot of like chipper grade wood in here, so you have to pull all that out, manoeuvre it, try and get as much as you can done in the time that you've got. We've uncovered some really nice timber there, but at the top again it's almost like chipper grade stuff. 3-inch, 2-inch diameter, some bits are 4-inch, not too bad. Then at the back there's oversized stuff, so you'll be pulling out the oversized stuff again, because they'll have to be split in half. But the trouble is, we've only got a smaller van with a very small shallow bucket, and even if you could get in there, nothing's going to hold in the bucket because of the lengths. And the lengths cause a big problem when they're all twisted in, mashed in, and however they come, okay? Towards the back there's some rings that are already logged up by the looks of things. I don't know how well they're logged up. Some of them look pretty good, and others, you know, you think, oh gosh. Like this one, 10-inch one side, 11.5, 12-inch the other side. It's just how it's been cut. But it's real world. At the end of the day, you know, sometimes you're on site and you just quickly cut things up to get them onto the back of your wagon. Sometimes you don't. It's all about prep. If you know you're going to be doing firewood, right, and you know you on site you want to log up to 10-inch or log it up to, you know, 2 ring size, so 20-inch, 30-inch, 40-inch to carry it out, and you end up finding that it's a lot easier down the line. So it's all about forward planning. So if you can forward planning, you know you're going to process the wood with a good machine, then yeah, do that. If you're going to be cutting it on a log splitter, yeah, you can just cut them through. But again, it all depends on the product you're selling. If you're selling a product that's not uniform, it just comes how it is, it's hard waste, and that's how your market runs, then yeah, that's fine. But a lot of people don't like things that they don't know that it's going to fit in their fire. You know what I mean? Luckily enough, I think his clientele around here have bigger fires, so 10-inch to 12, 13-inch is fine. But there's a hell of a lot of it that's got to be cleared for when a lorry load comes on Thursday, and it's going to be tight. I don't think we're going to get it cleared by Thursday, Friday. There's a hell of a lot of timber here. You're talking 75, 70 tonne that had to be logged up, you know, and slivers taken off. Even on a good day, let's say you log up 3/4 of an Arctic, it's in lengths, you can roll them out, you ring in. I bet you now you could ring up, and in fact I know you can. If you had a length of timber, right, and you had to, I don't know, ring up 5 rings off it, and then you had, I don't know, a load of 5 logs that needed a sliver snipped off the end of it, I guarantee the person doing the length. So if you're doing the lengths, it will go a lot quicker than snipping off slithers. I was then on the thought of, right, there's some that are diagonal ones, do I sieve them out and put them to one side? But there's just that many of them. It doesn't, because the yard's quite small, and obviously I don't like showing off everyone's yard. You know, where do you separate everything? There isn't much room here. Like this hard pile is most of the yard where it stands. Okay, the other side they need a bit of access to sort this stuff out, and because they haven't got a big loader, it's not like you can bucket big loads out, move it, sort it out. It's just literally a very small van with a very small bucket. So Deck currently is dying in the sun. Hold on, there we go, dying in the sun, listening to his tunes. Alright, so yeah, working our way through, clearing the pile, clearing all the bigger stuff. So, well, getting so we can clear the bigger stuff. I don't think that one will go in. It's quite big on the back end. See what I mean? That's a diagonal cut and a half. That's like 45-degree cut, that was. 45-degree cut. Would it go in? Didn't think it would. See, I could just see by eye. He's got a measuring stick that he uses that we literally just got a bit of stick in the Splitta 400 and put it there. Whilst we know our sizes, generally it's like an inch different, it's hard to tell, so quick measuring stick for anything you're uncertain about makes a big difference. So I'll best crack on with some work and I'll catch up with you in a bit. So this is where we're at. A lot of that pile's gone. We took a load of the height down. Can't really tell from this side. I'll tell you what, let me go the other side. So quite wide as well. It's hard to show you like that. But we've took a lot of the height down. Oh, there we go. Took a lot of the height down as well, all the way across. Just keep dragging bits down. Got a lot of chipper grade stuff again. Some good bits. You remember earlier? It's like a big curve like that. So I think it was about there where the logs. Oh, over there, the discs. I remember getting Deck to clear that first. But you can see into his shed now. Cleared a lot. How was your day's work, Deck?
Tough, hard.
Tough, hard, sweater.
Sweater, very sweater.
Got your towel?
With my towel, keep my sweat off.
Sun's beaming.
Scorcher.
Makes the day so much hotter. And harder as well. Right. We'll get the last few bits away, then we'll lock her up. Hook on the 400. Morning folks, so it's day 3. We're here sharp this morning, planning on having a really good split day, and as one of us got, well, as we got halfway through the pile, 3/4, I was going to carry on logging or get Deck to carry on logging. However, have any of you seen Come Fly With Me? It's an old British TV show that got banned. If you know, you know, alright? So this morning, There's been a lot of problems before we got here. We got no telehandler. We got no Avant. So I go home and play the fruit machine. That is literally the story this morning. So, we have got no telehandler. It is packed up here. His one's having issues. We have got no Avants for either most or all of the day. He's needed it on a job, scrap some bits out. So we have no way of moving cages today. So we have put 4 in a pile. Might need to come a bit my way actually. And what we'll have to do is just keep mounding it up. He said he'll handball them when he's back, spend the evening handballing them. It'll be a difficult one. So we are going to blast through this pile. And then we haven't got an Avant or anything to pull this pile down. Now bear in mind, he didn't really pull the pile down anyway. He did bits and it was alright, but I'm used to driving bigger machines, alright? It's probably my operating skills. If you know, you know, Avants feel like death traps. You can put a little bit of weight on it, you feel like you're tipping over, alright? In fact, I'll tell you what I did do yesterday, shame I didn't get on video. I took off the forks, went back and there's a bit of a dip, and it went like that. Because there's no weight on the front, but there's weights on the back. I was about to, you know, evacuate vehicle. But it's an interesting one, this one. But like I said yesterday, the pile has gone down in height. We are getting further and further back in. We'll see what we can do here today. We can pick out of it, we'll try our best, but what you find is there's like quite into lots of, sometimes it's easy just to pull a big chunk out, log it up, crack on, pull a big chunk out, log up, crack on. Deck's on the high vision on board today. Look, there he is, look at his smile. Now I don't know if any of you notice, every day at the end of the day, Deck goes, yeah, I'm alright, good day that was, yeah, not too tired. And every day he's in the cab at the end of the day. So he's going to be loading. It'd be nice to crack on to loading. There he is, don't know what day it is, bless him. It's going to be nice to get this sorted today, get plenty done, as we hope. But you never know what the day throws at you, so I can't guarantee what's going to get done with no loaders, no anything. Obviously, second issue is we need to get the machine out again tonight, so hopefully something's ready to move everything. That'd be interesting. About loading, so we'll have to get that sorted. Then on the flip side, we are going to be blocking ourselves in regardless with the wood that piles up. What we like to do, we like to run the machine for 5 minutes-ish, let the hydraulic oil warm up, and yeah, then we crack on, get some good splitting done. Deck's loaded up the deck ready, or deck's loaded up the conveyor ready, so she should be ready to go. Any final words, Deck? Your predictions?
Don't know.
Mr. Negative. Yeah, you're knocking down my height. I want 100 bags done today now. Okay, never in a million years at this point, but can't knock down the height. We will crack on and do our best as we can, so I'll catch up with you in a bit, try and get some footage, and we'll try to set up the GoPro. Lately I've been having issues, okay, with filming. So the main issue is I'm filming every single day now whilst trying to produce, whilst getting up at, you know, 10 to 4 on the road for just about 4:30 max, sometimes 3:15, getting to site pretty early, then coming back. By the time I've done like a 2-hour run back or whatever, 2.5 hours depending on what goes on, it becomes, let's say, the end of the day, and you try and do a bit of editing, but you have to offload your cameras, put all your camera kit on charge. I'm still getting used to filming every day. Now, the issue with that is I ran out of storage, not only on a 2 terabyte hard drive, or two 2 terabyte hard drives, also I run a Mac Studio, okay? brilliant bits of kit. I've upgraded storage on it, everything. Cost me an absolute fortune when I said, right, I'm going to do this properly. You know, about a year ago now, a year ago soon. So, issue I have is, I cannot offload any of the footage off the SD cards. But, you know, Amazon Prime deliver faster than my would. They come next day, and I got a 10 terabyte storage drive, so I can keep you all up to date. So if you're watching some of these videos and you just feel like there's not as much content in there, it's because I had to choose which bits to delete so I can keep things going. But no, there's some good content coming your way. We've got, what, 3 weeks worth of mobile processing, 4 weeks worth of mobile processing that we've filmed. We've got some yard bits we're sorting out. We've got the open day coming up, so everything's all beautiful. So, as you can see, we've had no telehandler, we have no Avant. So, we did the pile and we had already sort of sorted it out between soft and hardwood. So we kind of put like the softer woods towards the back and the harder woods towards the front as best as we could. But then we got told to put it all in a pile in cages, so the sorting out didn't quite matter in the end. No problem, things happen, not Harry's fault. He had a job that he had to get finished, that's completely fine. So you'll see Deck filling some bags. I helped him, of course, but basically what happened was, before we could even log up any more and put any more through the processor, it was at the max top of the conveyor. We couldn't literally get any more down. I was knocking the pile down as best I can. It got a bit ridiculous, so we pulled 2 cages that we could find out of a stack. We tipped the stack over where it was safe to, dragged the cage over, filled up 2 cages, then filled up a load of bags. It was a very slow finish to the day. And then to finish the day off, we all had to stand on the back of the, who's that? We all had to stand on the back of the Avant while Harry tried to load it because the telehandler wasn't fixed and we still had to get home and we still had to be loaded up. So that was interesting. Because the Avant couldn't lift it properly, we had to load it any old out. I had a bit of a sway on the way home. It wasn't quite loaded how I'd wanted it to be loaded, but we got back. So you're all probably wondering from the start of the video what actually happened to make things go out of sync, to cause a bit of issue in the business. before I say anything, I'm not airing dirty laundry. I've got no problems with anything anyone has done. It is what it is. What can you do? So, after that weekend, Deck went on holiday and he went away for a week. And upon his return on Sunday, I think he came back Sunday, I received a message at, I think it was 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And the message basically said he applied for a new job and he is starting that Monday. We had a load of mobile processing booked in, well, we were fully booked essentially, and we were squeezing people in the 3 days where we could. I was still unsure why at first, and I understood because this is what he wanted to do, what he needed to do, but I didn't understand why, because he'd just been trained up, everything was going absolutely swimmingly, checking with him each day, everything all good, how's things going, your body feeling all right. Basically, I think the mobile processing was just a bit too much for him. I explained I don't agree with the way he went about things, just dropping it me the night before, but it is what it is. We are where we are. Obviously, I've not fell out with anyone. You know, he's been a great chap to work with, but things happen. And as I've always said, and I'll keep repeating it every video almost, mobile processing is a difficult thing to do, okay? It takes a lot out of you mentally, physically, and I'm guessing that's what happened with Deck, and he must have not been happy, I'm not sure, but all I can say is he worked hard when he worked, and as far as I was aware when I was asking, I didn't think there was any problems, but it twizzled things around, threw off a load of schedules, but I worked extra hard, including weekends, doing everything I could, staying later on some jobs just to make sure, you know, they got the work done. You know, probably overdid it a little bit, but I literally had no free time to even look at a video, sort out a video. On top of that, we had all our, like, my day-to-day business running things. So, like, on the way back from jobs, I've got me earphones in, or I've got my hands free on, and I'm chatting to clients, chatting to people, ordering stuff. If we have a lunch break, which very rare we do, I was dealing with that there, and on the way to work sometimes if anyone's up, maybe checking with Jake while he was at the yard, or on the way to the yard, a few of my hauliers. You have to kind of like do business things. On that note, we are flying away, we are doing everything that we need to get done, and business is going well. So I'll see you all on the Saturday Night Live, which will be tomorrow for you, 5 days for me. Appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.